HarperCollins presents the Anti-Catastrophe League, written and read by Tom Ough. Introduction. Diffusing Doomsday. When the Soviet Union disintegrated in 1991, the good news for Western powers was that they had lost one nuclear-armed adversary. The bad news was that they had gained several more. Soviet leaders had farmed out their nuclear, chemical, and biological weapon sites to the far reaches of the empire, and many of these far reaches were now independent countries. Those newly independent countries were politically fragile and economically troubled. And although the existence of their nuclear, chemical, and biological weapons facilities had been a secret, word was quickly getting around. There is a market for enriched uranium, and the buyers are rarely the people you'd be keenest to trust with such a dangerous resource. Andrew Weber, a young American diplomat, was dispatched to Kazakhstan in July 1993. Not much later, his car mechanic told him there might be some uranium for sale. Via the mechanic, Weber was introduced to Vitaly Mehta, a mechanical engineer and naval veteran. Mehta was now the director of a metallurgical factory in Kazakhstan's desolate northeast, and he let it be known that the factory stored reactor fuel and that he might be willing to broker its sale. But he needed to trust his buyer. Over several months, Weber befriended Mehta. There were a lot of dinners and a lot of vodka. On one occasion, Weber brought Mehta a bottle of Wild Turkey, a rich American bourbon. Mehta invited Weber to join a hunting trip in the Altai Mountains. The trip involved a naked sauna session, par for the course in Russia. Weber shot a moose. A Kazakhstani intelligence officer, waking up in his jeep to spot an elk walking by, shot the animal with a 9mm pistol. There was much more drinking. As the trip continued, Weber slowly gained Mehta's trust. Later, at the embassy, the mechanic gave Weber another tip-off. On the snowy outskirts of Almaty, then the country's capital, the American was introduced to a former KGB border guard, Colonel Korbator. As the two men walked through the snow, Colonel Korbator discreetly passed Weber a very small piece of paper, folded in half. It was a message from Mehta. Continuing to walk, Weber opened the piece of paper, read what was on it, and gulped. Then he put it back in his pocket. The message was 600 kg, U-235, 90%. The factory held not just reactor fuel, but the kind of uranium that is used in nuclear weapons. 600 kilograms of it, enough for about 24 nuclear bombs. Iran was trying to get hold of the cash. North Korea and Al-Qaeda were also pursuing materials of this kind. Weber was suddenly responsible for ensuring that America's adversaries did not gain 24 nuclear bombs. With the assistance of a chemical nuclear engineer, Weber quietly visited the factory with Mehta. There, behind a door locked by nothing but a decrepit padlock, were the uranium rods, wrapped in foil. This uranium metal would require nothing, he recalled thinking, just being banged into the right shape and more of it, to make a bomb. It didn't need any processing. This is 90 or 91% enriched uranium-235 in pure metal form. On receiving an urgent cable from Weber, the Washington diplomatic establishment secured the cooperation of the Kazakh government too. We were able to work together, said Weber of Mehta, and then create what became a secret government-to-government channel. We organized a massive project to send an American team to Kazakhstan to package the materials and then safely fly them back to the United States. It was a good job that Weber acted swiftly. The Americans later discovered that it was only a paperwork glitch that had prevented a shipment of beryllium, which is used in atom bombs, from being sent to Tehran. Weber told me his story in November 2022. We spoke as part of my work for a philanthropic advice organization that sought to find, on behalf of wealthy individuals and foundations, the best opportunities via which to address the world's gravest perils. By now, Weber was a senior fellow at the Council on Strategic Risks, a think tank that analyzes and addresses many of those severe problems: climate change, nuclear weapons, and so on. He had taken this job after serving as President Obama's assistant.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?